You know, we always hear about collaboration as this soft skill you list on a resume, right? But what if that's completely wrong? What if it's actually a hard, structural advantage, something you can literally design, measure, and grow? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, this idea of the collaboration dividend. Okay, let me kick things off with a question for you. What in the world connects the iPhone you're probably holding right now to the Mars rover millions of miles away? Now, it's not just about amazing tech or some lone genius inventor. Nope. The real answer is way more fundamental to how these things actually got built. So, that common thread? It's all about intense, systematic collaboration. And that's the big idea for today. Collaboration isn't just, adding 1 plus 1. It's a multiplier. It creates this huge return on investment that one person working alone could never, ever achieve. And this tangible compounding return, that's what we're calling the collaboration dividend. Seriously, think of it just like a stock dividend. It's a real payout, and it grows over time. The difference is the currency here isn't cash, it's innovation, it's impact, and it's generated when your teams, your customers, and, this is the new part, even AI all build something together.
All right, let's get into it. First up, the innovation multiplier. We're going to look at how collaboration is really the hidden engine behind some of the biggest breakthroughs we've ever seen.
I mean, just think about it for a second. The iPhone? That wasn't cooked up in some single isolated lab. No way. It was this massive union of designers, engineers, supply chain partners, the whole shebang. And it's the same story with Moderna's vaccine. A super complex web of biotech firms, regulators, and even governments all working together. These huge successes, they're not the exceptions anymore. They're basically the new rule for how real innovation happens.
So that brings us to Section 2, the new collaborative triad. Who are the key players in collaboration today? Well, it's not just about your internal teams anymore. The modern framework is this really powerful three-part partnership.
First up, of course, is collaborator number 1, your internal teams. This is the foundation, right? Your designers, your engineers, your leaders, the people who are actually building that collaborative muscle from the inside out. Okay, next up, collaborator number 2, your customers as co-creators. And this is a huge mental shift. Your customers aren't just passive consumers anymore. They are active co-creators. Think about it. Every click, every single support ticket, that's not just noise. It's a signal. And when you learn how to harness that, your users become maybe your most valuable innovation partners.
And finally, collaborator number 3, the real game changer, AI as an amplifier. Now, the key here, and this is super important, is to see AI not as something that replaces human creativity, but as a powerful amplifier for it. It takes everything your team can do, all those signals from your customers, and just scales it to a level that, well, it was pretty much unimaginable before.
So how does it do that? Well, for one, AI can spot hidden patterns in massive amounts of customer data that a human being would just completely miss. It can stress test a new prototype by running thousands of simulations literally overnight. It can even act like a creative sparring partner, helping you sharpen your ideas. So you see, AI doesn't just join the team, it totally elevates the entire game.
Okay, so we've covered the who. We know the 3 key collaborators. Now for Section 3, let's talk about the how. How do you actually build the systems that make all this happen? You really have to architect this thing in layers. So, step 1, you start with strong internal teams and rituals, like Pixar's famous brain trust, which is all about fostering brutally honest feedback. Then step 2, you layer on customer feedback through things like beta groups that help shape the product. And finally, step 3, you amplify all of that with AI insights, maybe using dashboards that make all that user data visible and actionable for everybody. And this isn't just theory. You see this in action at some of the world's top companies. Look at Spotify. They literally co-create their roadmaps with their user communities. Or NASA, where they celebrate these huge collective wins with citizen scientists. And of course, there's Amazon's famous working backwards process, which forces every single project to start with the customer. All of these companies have built collaboration deep, deep into their DNA.
And this all leads to a really crucial point. We're living in what you could call an assembler era. Big, ambitious projects are just too complex for any one group to build alone. So in this new world, collaboration, it's not even a competitive advantage anymore. It's basically the cost of entry.
And there's another benefit here, this powerful human dividend. When people, both your employees and your customers, see their fingerprints on the final product, it creates this incredible sense of ownership.
Your employees are way more engaged. Your customers, they become your biggest advocates. And that builds a foundation of trust that, frankly, you just can't buy.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but I know what you're thinking. How do you actually prove it's working? How do you measure it? So for our last section, section 4, let's get really practical about measuring what matters. To really measure this dividend, we've got to shift our focus. It's not enough to just look at the final output, like revenue. We need to start measuring the health of the process itself. So instead of just measuring individual performance, are you measuring the collective impact? Instead of just seeing customers as consumers, are you tracking how deeply they're involved as collaborators? Here's a great example of a metric you could use, a co-creation index. Just look at this chart. It tells the whole story. When your teams work alone, yeah, they make some progress. You bring in customer input, and hey, it gets a lot better. But when you bring in the full triad, teams, customers, and AI to amplify it all, that's when the impact becomes truly transformative.
So here are some key questions you can take back and ask inside your own organization. Are our roadmaps actually co-created? Does a customer's voice show up early in the design process? Are we tracking AI's contributions as real milestones? And maybe most importantly, are we celebrating the collective wins across that whole triad? These questions are like a mini audit to see if you're really set up to earn that dividend.
And this all points to the crucial loop at the heart of this idea. Listen to this. When collaboration is visible, it becomes repeatable. When it's repeatable, it scales. And with AI, it compounds. That's the engine right there.
All right, so as we wrap this up, what are the key takeaways? What can you actually do? First, reward shared outcomes, not just siloed efforts. Second, make that collaborative work visible, maybe with dashboards or logs. Third, treat customer signals and AI insights as core inputs, not as afterthoughts. And finally, start tracking collaboration itself as a measurable driver of ROI, with the same rigor you track revenue.
So I'll leave you with one final question to think about for your own work. What's one collaborative ritual, just one, that you've seen deliver real, tangible dividends? Think about that, because if you can find it, you'll find exactly where the magic is happening.